Welcome to Sailing Avanti. We are Gerard and Jacqueline, sailing our 41-foot monohull Avanti around the world from Cape Town, South Africa. We're about to leave the dock at Santa Marta, so we're a little bit later than we wanted to, but you can't clear out too many hours ahead, so we had to wait for our passports to be returned by the agent for a little while. But it's only about an hour after we wanted to leave. We've checked the wind forecast and we are going to have heavy winds, a little bit probably more than we expected, but yeah, it should be quite a quick passage. There is some current that we'll have from ahead, so we'll try and avoid that. But yeah, the wind is quite going to be quite heavy, 25 knots maybe, or even more than that. It's about a 2-day passage, and we've stocked up, we've filled with diesel and water, so it's all systems go. We're heading to Puerto Obaldia, so that's the first port that you can check in Panama. It's right after the Colombia Panama border. So yeah, all systems go. Hopefully it all goes well.
We're definitely better prepared this time than when we left for Panama, but some reason, even if you spend a week getting ready, it just time leaves us and we're always running around the last minute. So last night we ran around quite a bit and I'd actually like a day just to sleep before we leave, but that's not going to happen. So we've cooked up our we've got a veggie and rice dish for one night and chickpea curries, so we'll have proper food. I've bought some bread for lunch, and I've even got the fowlies ready for the bad weather that we're expecting. So I think we're ready. Don't really want to leave. I've had my last warm shower. It's one thing I'm going to miss terribly, is the warm showers of a marina. But it's time for island life. I'm excited to go back to sailing actually a lot more, and just falling off the boat when you're hot. That's one thing we really missed here in Santa Marta, because it's so hot. It's hard to explain, but you sweat. Every inch of your body sweats. I'd never realized my elbows sweat, but they do in Santa Marta. So time to head off and find some island paradises.
Once we had our passports, it was time to wave goodbye to new friends on the dock and pass Pacific getting fuel for our journey west. It's the beginning of December and our destination is San Blas Islands, just off the coast of Panama. Our plan is to wait there until the new year, when we'll need to haul out and get ready to go through the Panama Canal. This route is known for having very strong winds over Christmas. Thus, we want to make it through well before then, and while our visas actually ran out. For this journey and our time in San Blas, we had to stock up on lots of food and cash, since there's no ATMs or real shops.
When we left the bay, the wind was really quiet and the swell was quite low. But 20 minutes into the journey, the swell started picking up and the wind was over 20 knots. We soon realized that the wind will build even more, and it was time to put in another reef in the mainsail.
We've just finished changing the sails. The wind is howling. We're gusting up to 30 at the moment. So we've just finished putting in another reef on the main sheet, and we've filled in the Genoa. But even with the smaller sail, we're still doing the same speed. So you don't necessarily need to put out more sail to get better speeds. It's about trimming the sails correctly, because it's a lot more comfortable since we've taken in another reef. So we're down to the 3rd reef on the main, and we're not heeling over as much, and the boat's rolling less. So all in all, much nicer ride.
Mosquito. So, Jackie, what's the 3 things you'll miss about Santa Marta?
The hummingbirds we saw everywhere, and there was thousands of butterflies. I wasn't able to ever capture them, so the amount of butterflies we saw daily, always I remember a butterfly as bringing a wish or bringing a kiss from a family member, so that was special for me. And I don't know, the whole city made me feel of hope. The whole country brought a message of hope around. If you see how bad in what bad state the country was, especially in Medellin, and how quickly they're moving forward and past their problems. I think that's pretty awesome. And you?
Club Colombia. Very cheap and very good beer. So I think we're gonna miss that. But Colombia was really nice. I think South Africa can learn a few things from Colombia. We've done about 35 nautical miles. So we wanted to come out a little bit north so that we're quite the distance away from the river mouth. The river is at Barranquilla. So everybody says there's a lot of debris. So we are about 1,000 meters deep. The water is, you can see the river's effect on the watercolor. It's like a green and it's not that clear anymore. So we've passed the river mouth and we've turned a little bit port to stay closer to mainland. And the wind prediction is showing that it's also making a natural curve kind of with us. So we were on a broad reach before. We started with 2 reefs in the main and the Genoa, both on port side. And the wind picked up quite a lot. It was gusting over 30 at one stage. So we put another reef in the main. So we've got 3 reefs in the main and the Genoa's out, and we're dead downwind now. So we've got the pole out and we are wing on wing. And we're still averaging about just under 7 knots. So it's better than expected, but we had not hit the current yet. So we'll see that only tomorrow. We had an unexpected visitor that wanted a taxi ride just before sunset. We normally don't mind these birds hitching a ride, but this one wanted to sit on top of the mast where we have some instruments that could be damaged. So we had to chase it away.
What's going on here?
Weet nie. Water in the bulges. So I'm not sure why, but if we have quite rough weather, there's always some water comes into the bulge somewhere. So better to get it out so that if you do have a larger leak, you can see that it's accumulating rather than leaving it there. We've got about 70 nautical miles left to Porto Obaldia, where we need to clear in. We are a little bit early, I think. It's going to be arrival very early morning. The travel time was much faster than we thought with these strong winds we had yesterday and last night. And we are sailing nicely now. The sea state is much better. It's really calmed down a lot, and the wind is about 15-16 knots true, so we can just glide along now and kill some time before we get there. And when we do get there, we've managed to install OpenCPN. It's a free software. It's like Navionics, so there's charts, marine charts on there. But you can do all these add-ons, like we've managed to get cruising guide charts composed by Eric Brahaus that you can import into OpenCPN. So that helps a lot because there's a lot of unsurveyed areas and there's a lot of inaccuracies. So everybody told us OpenCPN is a must for here, and luckily we got all the charts from somebody in Santa Marta that was so very kind, from Zen again. So yeah, we're all set. We'll switch on those charts maybe 10 nautical miles before we get there. And tomorrow morning we'll anchor early and we'll clear in. Hopefully all goes well. We've just arrived at Porto Obaldia, sorry, and we need to anchor here and clear in. So a friend of us that came from Santa Marta a day ago, they're already here and anchored. Their boat is called Zen again. So yeah, it's been a while since we've last anchored, and at least there's not a lot of boats here. So we just had a massive squall and 30 knots of wind all of a sudden, so we are a little bit wet, but it's cleared up very quickly and the sun is about to rise, so our timing isn't too bad.
Once we anchored and had a good nap, we waited for Pacific to come in before we went to shore to clear in. Clearing in here means you don't have to use an agent like many of the other arrival ports in Panama, and it was very straightforward. Register with the police first, then we went to immigration to clear in, needing quite a few photocopies of our original documents, and then on to the harbour master to clear into Panama. Although we can only stay 3 months with our passports, you have to buy the 1-year cruising permit. That's just under $200.
Where are we going?
I'm coming!
This is not a place where you'd want to overnight. It has little protection from wind or swell, and it was time for us to get out of there and into a safe anchorage, hopefully before sunset. Thank you for joining us for our first video of 2023. Next week, we start making our way up the coast of Panama through the Cunayala villages. Thank you as always to our Patreons for supporting the making of these videos. And if you liked it, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to our channel to be the first to know with the next release.